Organs, tissues, muscles all working strong. Feeling 20 years younger, singing that old town song. Oh yeah, wave goodbye to aging. Let the years unwind in the land of Hercules. We're all behind. Get rid of zombie cells for a life that's true. Feeling young and free like we used to do. In the land of Hercules, a brand new start. Live life to the fullest with a young and hopeful heart. Yeah!
Welcome everybody to LYN Live, and tonight for this master class, every Tuesday night we have a master class about product. But we've got 4 people on our panel tonight that are all loving iHercules and sharing it. They all have reached the level of national. And, that's the first really big step. That's where the marketing plan all opens up. But I bet, is there anybody on here that actually started this to do it as a business first and foremost? Ron Bush. Hey, unmute yourselves, please. Ron Bush is saying, he's shaking his head. How about you? So tell me, why did you start this, Ron?
I started it because when I got on a Zoom and learned that iHercules cleansed the blood from all impurities and assists the body and stem cell production, I knew that the life was in the blood. And my attitude about it was, if this product does what it says, I want it yesterday. I did it for my health.
Amen.
Mhm.
Me too.
Mhm.
Me too. How about you, Darius?
I joined for my health. That's
Where's
basically
your
what it is.
face? I'm just seeing your bed. Where are you?
I don't know why you can't see my face. I see you.
Because you turn your camera around.
My camera.
Yeah, I was going to tell him that I was looking at his bed and his slippers.
Yeah. You
Oh,
get your camera turned around. Let's talk to Diamond for a second. Diamond.
Yeah.
Yes, Kare.
So, what was the reason that you started this in the first place? What got your attention?
I understood my assignment. That's the very first thing. I understood it. Once I received that video from my introducer, and that's Tiny Payne, and I watched that video. It was a 22-minute video of you and Jim Barnett. I always knew that the blood replenishes itself every 120 days. What I didn't understand was, as many years as I've been on this earth, that even though it was replenishing, it was dirty blood. I had all of those dead cells in there, and it was explained to me so thoroughly. And it's like a light went off. And then I knew my assignment. For me, it was product driven. I knew nothing about the compensation. I didn't look at the compensation. I never got on a call about the compensation. I only got on Sunday night calls. That's what I did. Now, what I did do, I committed myself to get on everybody's call for the whole week to see who was doing what they were talking about. But for me, I am product driven. I never knew anything about the compensation, didn't want to know. It was just too many people that I knew that they knew that I didn't know that needed this product. So for me, it was absolutely, and it still is, but it is absolutely product driven for me. Now, we'll share this with you, Kare. Around my 13th day, my introducer shared with me, she said, Daisy, you know, you only have 2 days left. 2 days left for what? She said, well, you know, if you do thus and so in 15 days, this is what's going to happen. You can do this. I said, okay. I reached out to you, Kare. I had no idea that you would even respond to me. I reached out to you. You reached right on back out to me. I asked you if you would do a meeting for a group because I didn't have it 2 days, didn't know anything about the 15 days with a compensation. And you obliged me by doing that. You did that for me on my 13th day. And the next day was my 14th. And it was after you did that meeting for me with my group of people, although a few people had already signed up actually for the product, but still, I was on a timeline that I didn't know anything about. And because you did so graciously, you did that meeting for me and my group. And from there, the next day and a half, I became qualified. So that's how I'm here as one of the newest nationals. And I thank you so much for that, for opening up this compensation plan that I didn't know anything about, but I am still a product driven girl. That is me.
All right. I love that story. And when you asked me to do a meeting for you, I didn't know who you were or that you hadn't signed anybody up yet. But how many people did you put on that in that meeting?
Well, that meeting, they invited people. I invited people. I think we had close to 30 people
Yeah.
on that on the meeting that you did for me. We had about 30 people.
Well, you did that really quick.
Yes,
So,
I had to. I
Kare,
was talking to people and I was talking to them anyway and sharing with them anyway. And you did that for me and it happened. So here I am.
awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Was
Kare.
that you, Ron?
Yes, a matter of fact, I didn't know I was a national until yesterday. I literally,
Oh,
because I'm like Diamond. I didn't know anything about the compensation plan and didn't care. And when people would mention that to me, I would just say to them, look, if this product does what they say, if I help enough people, the money will run me down. And that's exactly what happened. And so I had to call Joshua and say, Joshua, go into my back office and tell me what I'm doing. Because I didn't know what I was doing. Joshua will tell you that. Okay.
Oh,
I
you're not
was
the first
just,
person to say that.
huh?
You're not the first person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to know what you're doing. You just got to talk to people.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Rosalind, who doesn't have a camera on her on the computer she's using, Rosalind. Now you've been in for a while. You're not brand new.
No, I'm
When
not here.
when
I've
you
been in
start,
2.5
yeah,
years.
when you started this, Rosalind, what was the reason behind it?
Oh my God. I was trying to save my life.
hmm.
I had COVID. Prior to COVID, I was very healthy. I take very good care of myself and I drink lots of water. And after COVID, I developed high blood pressure. I was in and out of hospital for the next 2 months with pressures of over 200, over 100.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
Stroke pressure, high heart attack pressures.
Yeah.
And my daughter, who is a vet, she kept telling me, Mom, I don't want you going on any meds because you'll have to stay on them. I said, no, I don't want meds. I want something natural. And I started looking around. I found some information on Kare, and I called. I did not get an answer that day, but the same evening, one of the people who joined with Kare, Tuyet, she called me and she said, I heard you're looking for something natural. I said, yes, please tell me what it is. She told me what it was. She sent me some information, and I got down on my knees and I said, thank you, God. I ordered the 2X package right away, and I couldn't wait. I was checking the mailbox every day. In the meantime, I was taking cayenne pepper, habanero pepper, and other things to keep my heart, in order until I got the product. I received the product on February 11th, 2022, and started taking it right away. I didn't take the recommended 3 times a day. I took it 4 times a day because I knew that I needed it. It wasn't an option for me. In 2 months, I was in and out of hospital 4 times. I would go in, they would keep me there for 8-10 hours, get my pressure down, and then send me home. And I had to watch everything I eat, practically nothing, drink lots of water, and couldn't breathe well, started having terrible headaches. My legs were swelling. And within days after taking my iHercules, I started sleeping through the night. Within 2 weeks, all the headaches were gone, the swelling in my legs were gone, and they were not coming back. My breathing was better. I was able to go up and down the stairs without stopping every 5 seconds to take a breath. And I just saw the pressure going down from 210/110 to 190 to 185, on and on and on. I stayed on the 4 times a day for 4 months. And rather than going on 1 time a day, I went down to 3 times a day for the next 4 months. And by then, I had to see my doctor. When I went in to see him, of course, my pressure was normal by then. And he did the blood test because he was the one who I called when I had the COVID. And he said he really couldn't recommend anything to me. He said, if you have anything natural, take it. He wanted me to get the shot, and I said no. The vaccine, I said no. So when I went in to see him, they did blood test, of course. And he asked me, he said, why is your blood pressure so low? I said, I don't understand. What do you mean so low? He says, well, it's under 120/80. I said, yes, I know that. He said, you shouldn't have a pressure of under 120/80 because you're not taking any meds. I said, well, I'm taking something natural, and I would like to introduce it to you. He said, well, we doctors were taught to prescribe. So we don't do natural. I said, okay, that's fine. Well, I gave him they took the blood, and in 3 days, they called me. We need to see you right away. We need to get some more blood. Well, of course, I thought I was dying. We need to see you right away. The young lady said to me. I said, well, can you see me today? She said, yes, the doctor can see you today. I went in, and he said, I need for you to give some more blood. And I said, but why? He said, we need to do a comparison because your blood has no toxins. Your blood is pure. And I am your doctor. I'm half your age, and my blood is not as good as yours. So I think your blood was compromised, and we want to take some more and do a comparison. I said, okay, fine, but I'm not paying for today's visit because I did not make an appointment. He said, that's fine. So I gave the blood. Within 3 days, and I called Joshua and told him about it. As a matter of fact, he was talking to Jim Barnett at the time, and he told Jim, well, they called me again within 3 days and said the chief doctor, the clinic owner, whomever is in charge of the clinic, needed me to come back and give some more blood. I said, no, this is ridiculous. So I went in the following day. I met the chief doctor and I asked him, I said, why am I here again? I said, are you guys selling my blood? And he said, no. He said, but I wanted to talk to you to find out what you're doing. He said, you were in hospital 4 times within 3 months, within 2 months, with pressures of, 210 over 110. And then you show up here with low blood pressure. I said, no, it's not low, it's normal. And that's because I'm taking some natural products. And I said, like, our upline says, these are products from God's garden. And I call it a miracle in a bottle. And I brought 2 bottles of the Eye Hercules. I said, and I've got it right here. And I said, here's what you do with it. And I opened my mouth and I sprayed 4 squirts, as simple as that. And they both looked at me. My doctor said, you're crazy. The other doctor said, well, we'll have to look into that because this is not normal. But anyway, they took the blood again. And I told him, this is it, no more. I'm not coming back here to give any blood unless you guys join me and take advantage of this offer. Well, they didn't join me, of course. They didn't join Nu Xtrax. They didn't take the product. But they told me that I'll see you in 6 months. And in 6 months, I went in again. And everything was normal. But this time, I took a picture of my monitor because he said, well, he wanted me to write down my pressure readings for a week. And I did. But he said, anybody can write numbers down. I said, well, I know that. And that's why I brought this to you. And I showed him the phone. I said, this was taken 1 hour before I left home. My pressure was 117 over 76. And he looked at it. The chief doctor looked at it because he called him in. And they both said, let's take a copy of that and put it in your file. And we won't need to see you for another year. Stay on your natural stuff, and God bless you.
Wow.
Well, I didn't join it to promote it, but I figured if it's done, so well for me, after I was taking it for a couple of weeks, I have a family. I have 5 children. I have 6 grandchildren. And both my sons, they have asthma and allergies. I have a daughter who is a vet. She's part owner of a clinic, and I know it's good for pets. And I started with my family. So let me get my family and some friends involved here because everybody needs this.
You're absolutely right. Rosalind, I'm going to stop you right there because we're going to go on because we're going to talk about our stories in a minute. But,
okay.
Whoa, thank you for that. I am
you're welcome.
So glad you shared that. That is just amazing. And there are a lot of doctors that are open-minded that are looking at this going, wow, this is amazing stuff. So thank you for sharing that. I want to go back to Darius. Darius, can you come on and tell why you got started?
Did the camera turn on? I don't know. I'm not very technical.
Oh, Donald, can you help him?
I don't know what a camera is. I've been
Well,
pushing her
you
on
should be looking right at it. Are you on your phone or are you on your computer?
on my phone. I'm on my
Okay, there's a little thing down on the bottom. There's a little, Donald, maybe you can help with this.
At the bottom left of your phone, there should be right next to the microphone. It says video, and it's a little square, or it looks like a video camera
let's see.
on the bottom left of your screen.
I'm on and it looks like a camera, but when I push the button, nothing happens. It's other.
There's it'll turn it around. The way you've got it, it's looking at what you're looking at rather than looking at your face. Just turn your camera around. Turn your whole thing around. You'll figure this out during this call here. But tell us, tell us what got you started? I know you've been in natural healing for a long time, but what got you started on this?
Well, Jose called me and told me about this product, Clean the Blood. Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is gonna be kind of funny, maybe, but really, what got me started was looking at your pictures.
You mean my before and after picture?
That's right, your before and after picture. Because basically speaking, black don't crack. I don't mean to be on muscle. Black don't crack. I'm saying this woman is the same age or a little older than me, and she look a lot better than me. I said, something wrong with that. Plus, I'm a cancer survivor. Also, I had a stroke a couple of years ago. I also had to get blood transfusion a few years ago, and I just wanted to get better. I had neuropathy. I don't have anything now. Far as I'm concerned, I'm 100% healthy now as a result of using this product.
Awesome.
It's all speaking in existence. I mean, I only got in this business for the purpose of getting better health and getting better health for me and my family. But the money just happened to come with it. Being that I've been in network marketing for 50 years and I've always been real good with compensation plans, even though I'm almost like Ron Bush. I didn't really know just how this compensation plan worked. In fact, I know I called your son, I don't know how many times, and like I didn't write stuff down like I should have, but I was able to watch the money grow, and that kind of excited me. And when I obtained one goal, when I made district, then they told me what I had to do to make regional. So I went and made regional. I made basically my first 10 days or something like that. I made regional, and then I found out what I need to do to make national, and I went for the bonus. But, and things actually are better for me now because I found out that sending people's videos and stuff works a little bit, but doesn't work as good as old time, like back in the Amway days when you go to people's house. So I've been making house calls, and house calls have been very, very successful for me. And all I do is go in the house and sit down and show them my video on my phone. And they will sit down and look at it with me there. But if I send it to them, they may not look at it. So many people ain't looked at nothing I sent them. But I said, well, can I come past your house and talk to you? And that's what I've been doing. And I've signed up 4 people as a result of that. Easy. And, so that's what I do now. I just go to people's house. And when I go to the house, then I show them the videos which I think will meet what problem they have. If they have a health issue, if they have a financial issue, if they want to know about the technology, if they want about what's in ingredients, I have the videos for all that. So I use videos in their homes, or sometimes I just go in their house and I sit down and have them turn on YouTube, and I use the videos right off the YouTube. That's what I do, and it's worked very successful for me.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Ron, you started sharing, you need to unmute yourself. You started sharing this how? Let's wait. Before you do that, tell what happened to you? You know, you started taking this for your health, as we all
Yes,
did. What
yes.
happened to you?
In mid-March, I was diagnosed with something that most people don't even want to hear the word of. And it was chronic because my physician told me that we don't have a cure. So he drew some blood to see if I had a certain mutation. And when he found out that I had that mutation, he prescribed a medication and told me, we can assist you to live many years with your condition. And so I said, so this is a maintenance program. And he said, for lack of a better term, you'll be taking it for the rest of your life. And uh, that was, you know, in May or whatever, when when he took my blood. And the first week in June, a friend of mine called me, and Kerwin Rollins told me, I think there's a product that can help you with your diagnosis. And he put me on the phone with you, Kare. And when I shared with you what my diagnosis was, you suggested, that I take the eye Hercules, and that the scientists had said that I should take it in a therapeutic dose. And you said, look, do 10 to 20 sprays a day in the morning and in the evening. Well, I was so excited about ordering the eye Hercules. I had to figure out how to order it myself because at the time Kerwin didn't know. Okay. And I ordered the wrong product. But the product that I ordered was a very good product by Nu Xtrax called Liquid Gold. So I'm spraying the Liquid Gold
Let me
for
just stop for 1 second. Liquid gold, 'cause there's a lot of people on here that are new and
okay,
don't even know what liquid gold is. Liquid
okay.
gold is the first product that we had. Here it is. And then after we had had that for almost a year, they upgraded it. They added 4 ingredients that stimulate stem cell production and reverse biological age. And that's called iHercules. So you see, my amazing recovery and my husband's amazing recovery all was with liquid gold, but we don't even recommend this anymore because this is
Yes,
so much more powerful.
yes, yes. So I'm spraying the Liquid Gold for, I don't know, a month, right? Before I even learned that I had ordered the wrong product. So the company let me send the Liquid Gold back and they said, we'll send you the eye Hercules. Well, I was sort of anxious because all I had been getting with my physician were blood tests and scans and things of that sort. And so I didn't get a medication for my condition until July 8th. And on July 15th, I had a fall down some steps, hit my head against the wall, and my daughter took me to the ER to make sure, I didn't have a concussion. But the condition of my diagnosis showed all over my body. And so on the 17th of July, my eye Hercules came. And so I started spraying the eye Hercules under my tongue. On the 20th of July, my daughter was looking at my condition, in my neck, And she said, Dad,
What was the condition in your neck?
I had a knot on my collarbone, almost the size of maybe half the size of a golf ball. And that knot had been on my neck for about a month and a half. You know, my physician knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that Saturday, the 20th, my daughter says, Dad, the knot is gone. And I said, it is, right? Well, on the 22nd, I had to go back and see my physician because he wanted to know how I was tolerating the medication that he had prescribed for me. So when he comes in, the first thing he noticed was that the knot was gone from my neck. And then he says to me, I was looking at the CAT scan last week when you had your fall. And what do you want me to say? You know, two of the problems on your brain were a lot smaller than they were when I had the MRI a month and a half ago. Okay. And so he was perplexed about that because he said, this medication don't work that fast. Yeah, I mean, from the 8th to the 15th, I had only been on it a week, right? So he couldn't understand why, you know, he was seeing what he was seeing. So he said, I usually, you know, don't do any blood tests or any scans until after you've been on the medication for um, 60 days, 2 months. But he sent me down to the lab because he wanted to see what was going on in my blood. And when my blood came back, he said, your blood looks very good. He said, but I want you to do an MRI. Um, well, it was the 23rd, last Friday. I did another MRI for him. And yesterday, I went in to find out about the results of the MRI. So he pulls up the MRI, and it's an MRI of my brain. And he wasn't seeing what he wanted to see. And I could see how he was magnifying it and turning it and everything. And then he said, okay, he just pulled up the CAT scan from the 15th of July. And he said, do you see this on the left side of your brain? And I said, yes. Then he goes to the MRI and he said, it's gone. It's gone. And now he is really confused. So he went on and explained to me. And as Rosalind was saying, I love to see how your doctors just don't know what's going on with you, you know. So he went on to explain the medication that I was on and how it works. And he told me exactly what the medication does. But the medication does not make anything disappear. He didn't know what was going on with me. And I'm sitting back and I'm looking at him and I'm saying, if you only knew the God that I serve.
Hallelujah.
If you only knew the God that I serve. And Kare, that's the reason why I had asked you, because I was on that therapeutic dose, is it possible that my blood upgrade happened sooner than 4 months? Because sometimes I was doing 20 sprays a day. Other times I was doing 30 sprays a day. You know what I'm
I
saying?
do think that more is better. I think you can speed up the process. I do a lot of it.
Uh-huh. hmm So,
When you understand, like you and I do, and like Rosalind does, when you understand what this really is, that
yes,
it's, I mean, you can't get better if your blood is dirty and your circulation is blocked up. And this
right.
opens the circulation and cleans the blood and boosts the immune system and then turns
Yes.
on our own stem cell production. The
Oh,
doctors
wow.
haven't seen that happen in anybody. And those are the repair cells. So, yeah, you can speed up this process. I totally believe.
Yes, yes. And after that visit yesterday, I thank God in all things. If I hadn't hit this coconut, I wouldn't have known what the eye Hercules was doing for me. Okay. So all things work out to the good for them
Amen.
that love the Lord and are called to his purpose. So I thank God that I'm listening to my physician, and my physician is confirming for me that what I'm doing is a good thing. And I'll be eating eye Hercules for the rest of my life. It's food. And the same way I'm eating 1 or 2 meals a day, I'm going to be spraying eye Hercules for the rest of my life because I feel that anybody that can fall the mirror should experience what we are experiencing with this technology and this food. And, that was my reason for getting involved with Nu Xtrax. And like I said before, I didn't know how the comp plan worked. And I called Joshua, and he went into my back office and told me, Ron, you're a national. You're a national. And I said, okay, what does that mean? Because if you help enough people care, the money's going to run you down. I mean, everything happened for me organically. And it's happened since my fall. So, I just thank God for being a part of this company and the community and the family that I've met since I've been a part of
We are so glad you're part of this family.
it.
I love you and I love your story. And I mean, and it goes back. I want to say one other thing. What you were saying about if you hadn't fallen and hit your head, I've
Mhm.
always believed that everything happens for a reason and it serves us. And the same thing happened to me about 4 months ago when I woke up and I had that bruise on my foot, like the size of my hand.
Mhm.
And a friend said, "Oh my gosh, that could be a blood clot. Go get a vascular sonogram." And I did and found out that I have no plaque in my arteries at 76. And, people say to me, "Well, what happened? What about the bruise? What was that?" It it was gone the next day. It was just to get me to go in to prove what was really going on in my body.
Mhm.
Same like you. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So don't you just love these stories? And
Yes.
like I have like 35,000 people in my group now, in my downline. And I listened to Ron. Had I not told the person that I told, who told the person who told Kerwin, who told Ron, had I not started that, Ron would still be on this horrible medication with things growing all over his body that they don't have a cure for.
Mhm.
Um,
That's
so it's
that's
so yeah, so so it's
mhm.
hard to not share this.
Yes.
Terrence just asked a question. Wait, where did it go? somebody just asked that it's going so fast. Do you have to change your eating habits?
I did. I did. I thought that once I got my diagnosis and I learned about the eye Hercules, for me to have kept eating the way that I was eating was counterproductive. And it just made me feel like um, the product would have to work that much harder because of the toxicity that I was putting in my body before. I've eaten so much grass, it's growing out of my ears. I mean, salads and good protein. And if I'm eating carbs, it's the best carbs for me to eat. And with that being said, I've lost weight. I feel great. I'm 78 years old and 10 feet tall and bazooka proof. Okay. So, yes, I would do that. I don't know if I had to do that, but I did.
Yeah, that was a great answer because, yeah, I mean, if you're putting in just it, 95% of the grocery store is boxed junk, not no life force in it at all. It's just chemicals and pesticides and bugs. I mean, good Lord, what they put in food. I mean, most of what is in a grocery store is would not be considered food to our bodies. So if you keep eating that, yeah, your body's gonna have to work harder to get rid of that. So you're not gonna get as fast, but there's a lot of people that are still eating the junk and getting better. It's just gonna be slower for them. So yeah, thank you for that. So now I want to ask you all, so how did you start sharing? And who did you start sharing with? And I want to go back to Rosalind because she was just starting there when I said, wait a minute. Rosalind.
Well, I started with my family care because, everybody had some type of issue, and started with them, and then, some close friends of mine. And then it just expanded. And like you, I shared with some who shared with others and others and others, etc. And I kept going, and I won't stop.
Did you know about the marketing plan?
Oh, yes, I do.
Did you back then?
No, I didn't.
You just started sharing.
I started sharing.
Yeah. I think one of the funniest interviews we ever had, and by the way, for those of you that are on here, we have a huge group on here tonight, by the way. For those of you who don't understand the marketing plan, I mean, this company gives back up to 71% of their profits to the people that are sharing because they're wealthy businessmen. They didn't start this to make more money for themselves, like every single company I know of. They started it to change healthcare, and you can see they're doing it with this product. But but what I'm going to tell you about. So tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern on lynlive.com. My son Joshua is going to go over the marketing plan, but a number of weeks ago he did a panel of people that they were like all old women like me. and just like everybody here, they all just started sharing it and had no clue what they were doing, but they were sharing it because they believed in the product and what the product was doing. And one woman, Cher, who's done the all the pet testimonial programs with me. She loved it. She got her playing tennis again, and 3 hours a day at this age 75 and beating the 30-year-olds. But she's also a healer and a pet communicator. And she said she had shared it with a lot of people, but she didn't even know how to get into her back office. And when we finally showed her, because we had sent her a video, but she didn't watch it, Josh said to her, Cher, what was the back office like? And she said, it was so easy. I could have done that by myself. I could have gotten there. It's really easy to navigate. She says, but you know what? There was $3,500 in my back office. And Josh stopped her and said, Cher, there was $35,000 in your back office. And Cher says, oh yeah, I'm just not good with numbers. And everybody on the call is going, oh my gosh. It was amazing. I mean, this is just amazing. So, Rosalind, besides your family, and you started sharing it with others, your group has grown, you're a national or beyond. How are you sharing it? Is it just how are you sharing it?
I'm sharing it by doing text messages, by buying leads and calling them. And sometimes when I talk to people and they would tell me, well, I'm on, another natural product. I don't need this. I would ask them if they know anybody else that might benefit from it. And sometimes they give me other names and I call them.
Oh wow, so you're really networking.
When
Wow, that's great.
I go to the grocery store and I pass out little cards on it, and it says very, very simple, health and wealth. Can you have both? Yes, call me. Put my phone
Awesome.
number.
Awesome. Diamond Daisy, I haven't
Yes,
heard from
ma'am.
you for a while. So tell me your story with this.
As far as how I share or my story as far as what the product
What
has
has
done
it
for me,
done for you since you started it?
actually, because I don't have some of the major challenges that a lot of people that I know have and challenges that I've heard thus far tonight. However, since I know my blood is dirty and it's not clean, I know that I have some challenges.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I've definitely had some very subtle changes that I have noticed. For instance, no more floaters. I don't have any more floaters. I haven't had floaters in my eyes and those white and dark flashes. I've had them for a long, long time. I don't have that anymore. I hadn't noticed that these superficial spider veins, the spider veins and the superficial ones, the varicose veins. Now, I do use the eye Hercules, but I also use the eye Revive. I don't put the eye Revive anywhere on my body but my face and my neck. So a couple of weeks ago, I noticed getting out of the shower, I noticed that the spider veins and the varicose veins and those superficial ones, they were beginning to be a lot less and they were disappearing. Now they're not all gone, but I don't use the cream on my legs. I use it on my face and I use it on my neck. So I'm taking the eye Hercules, and that is what's doing it. Now I'll tell you something else. I know we haven't talked much about it. However, I do have GERD, acid reflux, and a lot of bloating. I have a hiatal hernia. I have all of that. Since I've been on the eye Hercules, I was taking just supplements. I mean, I have a lot of supplements I had, and I could actually open a store today and wouldn't need any inventory, none whatsoever. The day that I started taking the eye Hercules, I have never had a supplement, not a pill, not a capsule, liquid, or anything. The only thing that I take is the eye Hercules. And with that being said, of course, I do like good food. And that good food does, it kind of embraces that GERD and that bloating and that and that acid reflux. And I heard someone on one of your Sunday night calls, I heard them say that they took the I Revive, they put it on a small piece of bread, ate it. I said, okay. This was a few weeks ago, several weeks ago. So I enjoyed a meal, and the meal didn't want to enjoy me. And I had heard that a couple of days prior about this I Revive, and knowing that it's pure and it's natural and you can eat it. I got a crack. I had so much bloating after that meal. I mean, seriously, bloating and that acid reflux. And I got a cracker and I took some I Revive and I put it on that cracker. And I didn't put a lot. And I put it on the cracker and ate it. Now, I'm not going to say it was 5 or 10 or 15 minutes later, but what I will say, it was a very short time later. And it was as if someone had taken a pin and just stuck it into a balloon, and it would deflate immediately. And the bloating was gone. All the acid reflux was gone. It was gone. So now when I enjoy a meal and they don't enjoy me as well, I do this. This is it for me. I mean, this is what I do. None of that other, you know, those other things. I don't do that at all. So for me, that was that was major for me. That was really major for me, is dealing with this bloating and this GERD and this acid reflux. That is major. I feel great. I feel wonderful. I am going to feel so much better, but I'm going to do what Ron did. I'm doing 4 sprays, 3 and 4 times a day sometimes. However, I'm going to boost up these sprays because I want to escalate the cleansing of my blood as well. And I'll tell you something. Years and years ago, when I gave myself a reminder on my calendar, and this has been going on for years, and I put birthdays, people that I know, friends that I know, family that I know, I put their birthdays in my calendar, and I give myself reminders of those birthdays every year. But the date that I always put in there to remind me for all of these years, I always said 150. I never put a reminder for next year or 2 or 3 years from now. I always did it for years. I've been doing that. My reminders go all the way up to 150 years because I plan on being here. I know that I will be here now. I'm telling you, I know that I will be here now. So my reminders are 100. Try that, you all. Your reminders, don't remind yourself for something that comes every year, like birthdays and anniversaries and things like that of your family and friends. Make it 150 years or more. And I have been doing this for many, 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 many years.
Well,
And I
now
will
you've
say,
got something. Now you've got something that will
I
let you
do.
get there. I feel the same way.
Yeah, I do.
I live in Florida, close to the beach, and we had a hurricane go by here not too long ago. And I was sitting, no staff was in. I was just all by myself with the dog, watching the rain blow sideways, and it was just really, really bad. And I was making a list of what are the most outrageous things that I want to do in my life in the next 100 years. And I had this really big list, and I'm just writing and writing, and I'm all done, and I'm reading through the list, and I'm going, and then I finally go, who thinks like that? You know, who
I
thinks
do.
that?
I
But
do.
but we do. When you
Yes.
start getting on this and you start reversing in your biological age and issues, it's like, yeah, that's not a big deal. 150, I can live to 150. I'm 76. I have no plaque in my arteries.
Lovely.
By the way, somebody asked, how long have you, Diamond, been using the product?
I had my first 4 sprays on the 23rd of July.
So here we are in August.
Yeah, here we
So
are.
not very long.
Not very long at all. Not very long at all.
And somebody else had a question for you. Did you use the cream on your eyes to get rid of the floaters?
I didn't know to do that at first. I didn't know to do that. The floaters left about maybe about 4 days into using the product. It wasn't until I heard someone again on your Sunday night call, and they mentioned about putting it on the lids of the eyes, around the eyes. I think someone was on there and they said that they even put some in their eyes. So
Mhm.
the floaters didn't leave because of the cream that I was using on the eyes. Now I definitely use on my eyes every day. Like I say, it only goes on my face and my neck, but no, the floaters left pretty much in my 4th day of being on the product.
Yeah, mine left with I Hercules too. Of course, I mean, we only had actually mine left um with the first product, liquid gold. Because when the blood starts getting clean, the blood in the eyes start getting clean. I mean, that's what floaters are. It's just crud floating around in there and it gets cleaned out. All right. Darius, what's happened with you since you've been using this?
Well, let's say, let's start off my first day. I slept through the night. Um, the next thing that happened, I wear diapers that usually are soaked in the morning, even though I do get up 2 or 3 times to go to the bathroom. It was no longer soaked. It does because I don't drip like that. And as long as I don't try to wait around when I need to use the bathroom, if I use the bathroom when I need to use the bathroom, I can wear the same diaper almost all day. And also, most recently, when I had my stroke, my right leg used to move without my permission. And no longer, I revoked that. There's no more moving without my permission. So basically, it's improvement. It has improved my walking. When I first started walking back, walking after my stroke, I was walking more with a limp, not because of pain, but just because of the bad habit. But now I'm walking a lot better, and I feel a lot better, and I look a lot better. So
That's
that's what it's
amazing.
done for me.
So how are you sharing this with people?
Well, mostly through I've collected a lot of videos, and I just call people and I asked them if I could show you something that could change your life, change your health for the better. We can walk around a new person 4 months. I mean, is it worth? How much money is it worth to you to be able to be free of plaque, free of, in other words, a clean bill of health? And what is it worth to you? A lot of people I know were in pain, and I've had several customers that has improved with arthritis and pensionary in the back and stuff. And I use my customers with test me. I got one guy, his first bottle, and he only bought one bottle. He blows my mind. He used it at 12 o'clock at night. Next morning at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, his pain level went from a 7 to a 2. Within 3 days, he was in no longer no pain. And he only had one bottle. So
Wow.
what could he be done with just one bottle? And pretty much he's up maybe using 2 bottles, but he feels great. And when I put him on the phone, I might as well put on he he just goes on and on. I have to shut him up.
I love it. Doesn't it feel good though to share this with people and have them feel better?
Yes, but like I said, I've been doing this a long time. Also, you know, I've been doing nutritional supplements for 50 years, and I've always been trying to move up from one to the next better one. I'm always looking up. I'm never closed minded. If you call me and tell me you got something that could do this or do that, I'm gonna try. I'm willing to try anything. And I tell people that know me, because a lot of people know me, because I've been in this field so long. This is the very best product I ever had. Now I don't have to look for nothing else. I'm finished looking. And like the rest of you, I will be on this for the rest of my day, the rest of my life. And I always said 125. I might have to, after listening to the young lady, I might have to shoot for 152. Why not?
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, when I turned 50, I said, well, the best of my life is about to happen now. I'm 75 now. I'll be 76 in October. So I'm looking for now. She said I'm looking for at least 75 more years. Why not?
Absolutely. Yes.
In the Bible, a whole lot of people live longer than that. So why we can't? And
We can. Now we can.
the fact of the matter, I'm like, I serve a great God, and God is so good to me. I know He's good to y'all too, but He is extra good to me. I'm extra special.
Yes.
I don't
Kare, let me say this before you wrap up. I want to say this. I'm noticing that on the panel tonight, I noticed we are the 70s club. I'm noticing I'm picking up on the
Mhm.
70s club. I'm 75 myself, and I'm hearing all of these 70s. And so we're in the 70s club. But I say to you this, as far as the sharing of it, I knew some people that had health issues, and those are the people that were my target first to really get a hold to them. And of course, I think I heard her say that text messages. I do text messages. That is why I did start at two phone calls. Of course, to the people that I actually knew and know that had health issues, serious health issues. I don't want those. I will not have those. And even at my tender young age of 75, I don't plan to have them. And now I know that I have the magic plan and I shall not have any of that. With that being said, it does help. Believe it or not, Ron, it was your story, Kare, your story. I didn't have a lot of major things going on with me then, and I have even less now in just a matter of a month. I was telling those stories. I will not forget my sister, Dr. Brown. We were talking, and I call it a praise report. So I had another praise report, somebody's story. It was Ron's story. It was Ruby's story. It was Kare's story. The stories that I heard on Sunday, those were the stories. So one day when I called Dr. Brown, I was talking to her about Ruby's story. And she said, hold on. She says, I've got to get Dr. Duke on this line. You've got to tell her this. She got Dr. Duke on the line. I just began to tell Ron's story. I told Kare's story. I told Ruby's story, Letha's story down there in Orlando, Florida. I was just telling stories and just sharing with them. And then Dr. Duke said, wait a minute, hold on. She said, really? She says, let me get my sister on this line. She has got to hear this. And her sister's a registered nurse. So we're all on the phone, Doc Brown, Dr. Duke, Dr. Duke's sister and myself, and I'm just sharing and telling stories. Now, I will say this to the people that know me, they already know. I don't do presentations. I've been in this space of network marketing for decades. Decades. You already know I'm 75, so I've been around here in that space for decades. So for me, not to even pay attention to a compensation plan, I'm not known as that girl. I'm going to know the compensation, but here it didn't bother me. I didn't care anything about it. However, I will say this: I don't do presentations. If someone wants me to talk with someone, I don't talk to anybody for you. I would talk with someone with you.
Amen to that.
Don't give me a phone number and say, well, could you call so and so? No, I will not. But I talk to people with you. But I have conversations. I don't do presentations. So if you want a three-way with Daisy, don't ever ask me to do a presentation because so and so and so and so, this one or that one or the other, were unable to get on a Zoom. If they were unable to get on a Zoom, there's plenty of Zooms around. Although my favorite Zoom is Sunday night, I will say that. But I'm not going to do a presentation. You've got to have a conversation. And I am all about the conversation because that lets me know what's going on with them. And no matter what it is, I'm so confident. You talk about a girl that's got confidence. I am so confident that no matter who I am talking to and no matter what their challenges are, I got something for you. And it's amazing to me how one product, no matter what the issue is, one product will take care. We all have different bodies. All of our bodies are different. All of our issues are different. Our blood is different. We got different things going on, but just one product takes care of everything. So my confidence level, as far as even talking to people, I mean, I don't have a problem at all, an issue with talking to people, but this one product. And when I think about all of those nutraceuticals and all of those other companies, and I'm not putting any of that down, don't get me wrong, I'm not negating any of that, but I have so many bottles of nutraceuticals. When you're with a company and you say, well, this person has diabetes, and you got, it's about 144 products the company has, and 6 of them over here is for diabetes, and another 4 or 5 is for high blood pressure. Something else is for inflammation. Here, just the one product, I Hercules does
I
it
tell
all.
people this
That's
is a
it.
paradigm shift because it's always, even natural healing or medicine, we've been taught if you've got this condition, you got to take this. If you've got that condition, you got to take that and that. And this is like hits at the root cause of everything. And that is dirty blood, blocked up circulation. You can't get better. And this opens up the circulation, cleans the blood, boosts the immune system. So the immune system can see and then stimulates our stem cells, which nothing else does. So they can repair everything. And well, we're just going to live for a very long time and be very healthy and happy. And now we're over the top of the hour, and this has been wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do any of you have any final words that you would like to say? And where are you going with this? Your nationals now. I mean, there's above that is silver, and then diamond platinum, I think is what I am. They had to what are you doing with this? Where are you going with this? Where are your goals for this?
Well, I believe that if I just do what I've been doing, the promotions will take care of themselves because that's how I got where I am now. Now, Joshua did give me some direction as far as placement and things of that sort. But I just learned about the comp plan yesterday. And I'm just gonna keep loving on people, sharing my testimony, and asking people, how may I help you? And I'm gonna let it do what it do. I'm not, you know, and I'm not knocking this, but I'm not going to get into the marketing or buying leads and all of that, because what I've found from just assisting my family and my friends, I call my friends my loved ones, okay? Just by assisting them. One of my friends, you know him, Daryl Nelson. I was talking to Daryl Nelson, I believe it was yesterday, and he couldn't leave the house to do what he wanted to do because I think he said, I don't know if it was an ulcer or a hernia, her, and also I believe, you know, in his stomach. And he was in so much pain that every time he would think about leaving the house, the pain would make him sit back down. And he told me, he said, Ron, I don't know what to do. And I told him, I said, take that eye Hercules, spread on your stomach and massage it in. And it was a hernia. And he did that. 10 minutes later, he called my phone, left a message. Man, we really have something to offer people with this. He said, I'm on my way to the bank. The pain is gone. And I mean, you know, it's stories like that, you know, as Diamond was, tell a story, tell the truth attractively. And people will decide whether this is something for them or not. But my thing is this, I'm going to sow the seed just like I do for the gospel. I'm going to sow the seed, and then it's up to you to do what you want to do with what I share with you. But
Yes.
most of my friends, they know I'm not going to lie about, you know, what I'm going through. And, you know, they're just interested in hearing more. And I use Sunday night at 9 o'clock. And for me, that's all I needed. So I take everybody to the 9 o'clock Zoom on Sunday night. And every Sunday, I hear a different testimony or praise report. And so
Yes.
I camp out there.
I've been doing that Sunday night Zoom for 4.5 years. Well, Ron, you have just said it all. I don't think we need to say another word. I love you all. You just are such a blessing. And all of you that are on here tonight, oh, I'm so glad you came. This was worth it, wasn't it? A lot of times we don't have an hour to spend, but boy, this was a worthwhile hour. I loved all of your testimonies and stories. And Rosalind, thank you so much. And Ron, Diamond, Darius, thank you.
Thank you, Kare. Thank you very
This
much.
has been really
And by the way, since I
wonderful.
started taking iHercules, I haven't taken a vitamin or supplement.
Me either. Our bodies, God made our bodies for food, not supplements. So this is my food right here. This and iRevive is a food.
Yes, yes. That helps a lot with my grandson's eczema. It's all gone now.
Oh, we could go on and on and on with
Oh
testimonies.
yes,
And
oh
some of
yes.
you have only been on this for like a month, and we still have so many stories to tell. I've been on this for 5 years. I could go on and on a lot longer than everybody else, but I won't. I'm going to say good night to everybody. Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much, everyone. Have a good night.
And
God
Kare,
bless you.
and
Yeah.
Kare, one thing too, there is, I gotta say this, I know she's on here. Gloria Bankhead, you know why. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kare.
Thank
You
you,
know,
Ron.
and I'm blessed to know all of you all.
Well, we are
Peace, love, and blessings.
blessed to know you. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Come tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. I do a presentation at 8 o'clock on LYN Live tomorrow. And then at 9 o'clock, my son Joshua does the comp plan. And you ought to find out all the different levels of payment. You know, it's nice to have money just show up in your back office, but if you know what you're doing, you can get every penny out of it too. So,
Joshua does a great job.
yeah, he does.
Awesome, amazing. Yes.
Yeah, he's an amazing kid.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Diamond. God bless everybody.
Thank you. Thank
Blessings,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye now.
Rosalind.